This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Technological advancement. Introduction. Technological advancement has taken major strides in bringing liberation to the divergent human wants and gratifications. After keen observation, I have come to realize that technological advancement plays a critical role in solving the major crisis of food shortages in the modern world. In the state of Virginia during the 17th century, human labor was imperative due to the pressing need to grow enough food to serve the people in the community during the winter spell, hence the need to hire slaves from Africa to work on their farms. This has since changed partly due to the technological advancements over the years that have led to the replacement of human and animal labor with more efficient energy sources such as wind power, hydroelectric and steam energies that ultimately led to a significant increase in productivity. Thus, the thesis statement for this essay is to analyze the impact of technological advancement on people's lives from ancient times to the present modern world. Reason for choosing this topic. It is evident that technology is the backbone of the industrial revolution process that has occurred over the years and leads to a total overhaul from crude systems to modern efficient machinery. With this in mind, we cannot overlook the role that technology has played on the social and economic fronts of many societies, hence the need to have a deeper insight and research on this particular topic. The transformation brought about by technological advancement has helped many societies in Africa and the world at large to alleviate poverty and improve their standards of living through the increased food supply and significant growth in the economy, and this integrates with the research question: is technology liberating? The three academic disciplines from which this research has drawn insight from include agriculture, sociology and communication sectors. Supporting evidence. Agricultural sector. In the ancient world, the main source of power was human labor obtained mainly from slaves. In North America, for example, during the early 17th century, most whites purchased slaves as a chief source of labor to work on their farms, but with the Emancipation Proclamation by President Abraham Lincoln during the Civil War of 1863 that declared all slaves to be set free from bondage, their masters had no choice but to source for another alternative source of labor. This act spearheaded the advancement of the agricultural revolution, which was also boosted by the Industrial Revolution that led to the development of more efficient agricultural machinery that required very few workers and resulted in higher farm production. Examples of some of the medieval technologies used in the ancient world included water wheel, four-field crop rotation system, the horse collar and selective breeding of livestock with good traits. In 1750, engineer John Smeaton working on the water wheel significantly increased its efficiency, hence boosting its productivity. It was during this period that technological advancement, revolution, and innovation in agriculture were at its peak, and it led to the emergence of new farm machinery like cultivators, combine harvesters and mowers that were pulled by oxen, mules, and horses. These machines were later powered by steam energy than a more efficient diesel fuel that led to a remarkable increase in farm output. Previously, the land was prepared by a man using traditional mattocks and hoes made from raw materials obtained locally like wood and scrap metals. With the mechanization of agriculture, farmers could now make use of the machinery like combine harvesters and petrol-powered tractors to prepare large acres of land within a short period with minimum input on human labor to clear, plow and plant on their expansive farms. Technology has led to hybridization, selective breeding and inbreeding in livestock to obtain or maintain all the good qualities in their animals such as high milk production, quality wool production, quality meat production, and other desirable animal traits. Robert Bakewell and Thomas Koch doing their research on selective breeding crossed Lincoln and Longhorn sheep to produce a hybrid that exhibited all the good qualities of both Lincoln and Longhorn and was referred to as the new Leicester variety. This has helped in alleviating the crisis of food shortages through maximization of farm output. Social aspects. Technology has been indispensable in bettering the social lives of many people in society. Technological advancements have led to the development in infrastructure and social amenities, which has in turn positively impacted on the general livelihood of many individuals. It was until the Roman era in the 18th century that good roads were constructed. During those days, slaves were also used to carry loads and farm produce from the farms to storage warehouses and vice versa. They also used canoes and boats to carry farm products from North America between the Appalachian Mountains and Mississippi River during the early periods of the 19th century. During this period, the transport system was still archaic and underdeveloped, and people found it difficult to navigate from one region to another or carry heavy luggage over long distances because of poor roads and crude modes of transport. The canals preceded the construction of railroads that marked the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, and from there we had significant developments in the transport sector with the construction of the first transcontinental railroad in 1869 and the subsequent construction of tarmac roads, sea canals and subway systems. These developments made it easier for people to move around, hence positively impacting on their social lives by enhancing communication, trade, and farming. This indirectly led to improved living standards as a result of the increased food supply by farmers and the development of business firms. Farmers could now effectively carry their farm inputs and fertilizers to the farm and farm products to the market without difficulties. Businesses also thrived because of the efficient transport system, and in no time firms began proliferating from every sector of the economy. This enabled them to diversify their economic activities as they no longer depended on the agricultural sector for their daily provision, but also ventured into the business sector within the community. With the recent development in infrastructure, it paved the way to the development of social amenities such as schools, hospitals, public toilets, shops and market centers that increased in number as more and more investors joined the market. These amenities played a critical role in the development of the economy and elevating the living standards of the people in the community as they could now easily access all the essential resources. Hence, technology played a vital role in liberating the lives of many from the bondage of hunger and scarcity to a point of abundance and stable food supply. Communication sector. Communication is the act of conveying information from one person to another either face-to-face or by means of a communication medium. According to Scruton, during the ancient times, slaves used to communicate through hymns, quilts or underground railroads, while others used drums to convey coded information, since most had originated from Africa and drum beating was their cultural way of communicating. These primitive modes of communications were not very reliable as the information could at times be distorted or misinterpreted by the recipient, leading to a communication breakdown. During the ancient period, people used to communicate through messages carved on stone pillars, but this type of communication had limitations as the recipients had to travel miles to receive them, and the message could only be read within a certain reading range. Others, like the American Indians, used smoke to convey a particular message to the community, while others used bonfires lit on hilltops, but such signals were limited to conveying specific information like looming danger, war or victory. Communication then developed to a more elaborate form which included writing on portable materials like reeds and papyrus. This medium of communication was much more reliable than the earlier archaic communication system. With the emergence of technological advancement and innovations, the transmission of signals from one person to another through a more sophisticated medium like communication cables took center stage. In the early 1830s, the electrical communication system made significant progress in this industry as people could now get in touch through electronic devices like a telephone. In the year 1833, scientists Carl Friedrich and Wilhelm Edward Weber, researching on the electric transmission devices, made use of the principle of electromagnetic technology that later acted as the fundamental basis or a prerequisite for the innovation of telephones. Subsequent experiments done by Alexander Bell and Thomas Watson worked to optimize its efficiency and could now be used for commercial purposes. This was later followed by other technological developments and innovations by telecommunication engineers and scientists that led to the production of the carbon microphone, telephone exchange, data storage devices, wireless phones, and computers. At this point, we can only appreciate the technological advancements that the communication industry has taken over time to come up with sophisticated and very efficient gadgets that can serve multiple purposes other than communication. Such progress in technology has acted as a remedy to the many communications snarl-ups that people in the ancient world had to contend with, but now people can freely share information, ideas, thoughts, opinions, photos, video clips on very many communication platforms using sophisticated devices and handsets. For example, use of the internet on computers and mobile phones to share information and ideas across the globe, hence making the world a small village and enabling the free flow of information that is objective and informative. Hence, this technology could be used to positively impact the lives of people by making them more informed and educated. Conclusion. In conclusion, technology has had quite a significant impact on people's lives over the years by making life more bearable through the production of efficient systems that require little labor but produce a significantly high output. One significant finding from the above research is that African culture and tradition has been greatly revolutionized over the years, from the archaic, crude and barbaric practices to sophisticated and more efficient processes through technological innovations on advancement. The introduction of Western culture has worked to raise the living standards of many African communities that were previously languishing in hunger and poverty. This essay on technological advancement was written and submitted by your fellow student. You are free to use it for research and reference purposes in order to write your own paper. However, you must cite it accordingly.